What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, and it is a good day to be in the lounge with you today because today we're on the road again. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again doing a car video. That was weak. That was weak sauce. Car video. That's more like it. Hey guys, welcome. It is time. We're talking about the fact that I love Star Wars. That's right. I am still on this. I want to first of all thank you. What's up, Planet Musk vlog? What's up, Landon? So just so you all know, I'm gonna try to see what you guys are doing, but because I'm driving, I may not get to everybody's comments. So just know that I still love you. But today, I still love Star Wars. I want to thank you for all your support yesterday. I saw a lot of you guys use the hashtag I love Star Wars. Saw you guys used it on Twitter and just various places. I want to thank you all for your support. Now today though, so yesterday I was pretty harsh. I was pretty harsh on last few days I've been pretty harsh on people like Jeremy from the Geeks and Gamers. Now if you don't know who Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is, he's a guy, he's got a website, he's got YouTube pages, like a whole channel of YouTube pages now. And so I'll just be honest with you, I have not been very happy with some of the things that I've seen over the last months, over the last year from these people, because to me, even though there are things about Star Wars that sometimes I don't agree with and that I don't like, it doesn't mean that we should just throw Star Wars away and just get rid of Star Wars and you know, call for its boycott and all those things. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that. I say that we stand by the fact that we love Star Wars. We find the things that are good and we go with those things, you know, and we stay with those things. And then because Star Wars is the bigger the franchise gets, and I mean it's already a huge franchise, but when you have something like Star Wars now owned by Disney, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Hold that thought, because Disney's not throwing Star Wars in the bin. Disney is doing some great things. It is very easy, I think, for people right now to just go, "Oh, Star Wars sucks," and I just hate it. But then it's amazing because you stick around, right? And if you stick around for 5 minutes, all of a sudden these same people who are saying all these negative things about Star Wars, they like what they see out of The Mandalorian. All of a sudden I'm seeing positive, glowing reviews about The Mandalorian. And that's good, and that proves my point. That proves my point that if you stick around for any kind of minute, I mean, you just wait. You know, you're not gonna like everything, but guess what? If you wait, you're gonna find something that you do. I didn't like Resistance. I don't like some things about the prequels. There are parts about the sequels that I don't like, that I don't think are, you know, I'm not just taking everything that they give me and just saying it's awesome. What I'm saying is this, hashtag I love Star Wars. So before we get into this today, I want to encourage you on your social media, everywhere you go, use the hashtag I love Star Wars. Let the world know that you love Star Wars. Don't back down to this. We're gonna crush this negativity. We're gonna fight this. I'm encouraged because everywhere that I go over the last few weeks, I have seen more and more people start to stand up to this negativity. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying that I want to change your mind about Star Wars. I'm not saying that you have to agree with me about certain things, about what you like and what you don't like. That's not what this is at all. I'm not demanding anything of you. This is what I'm asking. Okay, here we are. We're back. Let's remember why we are here in the first place. Because of Star Wars. You know, it's not that it was perfect. It's not that it always did a perfect job. But you know what? We love Star Wars. And so that's all I want you to remember. I just want you to remember that you love it. You know, I want you to remember that first time that you watched it. How you collected the toys. How before you collected the toys, that you played with the toys. Maybe you still play with the toys. I still play with my toys, man, you know, but I love Star Wars. I go out and buy stuff. So anyways, so that was what this thing that we have started, and I want to thank you for all your support out there, because you guys have been great, and you guys have been tagging me and stuff, and it's awesome. And that's what we just need to do. We need to stay positive, because that's the only way you're going to defeat stuff that you don't like. If you think that there's, you know, SJW overtones and identity politics and all those things in Star Wars, that's your right, and you may identify those things, and you may say, I don't like those things, and that's fine. But here's the thing: we're not going to change anything by calling for boycotts and just throwing it under the bus and hoping that it dies. That's the thing. We're not going to change any of that way. What's going to change is being positive and having conversations, and that's why I want to come to what I have to say now. Because yesterday, on my way home from this conference that I'm at here in Seattle, I'm in Seattle, Washington this week, usually from Michigan. And so the thing is, it's not dead. It's not dead, man. There's plenty of us out here. There are plenty of things going on. The fact that I have to fight people for Star Wars toys, you know, all these reports, oh, Star Wars is dead because nobody's out there buying toys. Well, you know what? You're doing a video that's literally like a couple of weeks before the new toys came out. Yeah, they all clear out everything because that's how everything goes. Star Wars is not dead. It's far from dead. Okay? It doesn't take aggression. It doesn't know. I see, Russ, I gotta disagree. And you know I love you, Russ. You know, man, you're my man. You know, like we're like that. But I don't think that it takes all that. It doesn't take all that, this negativity. You don't have to be negative about everything. And that's my problem with it, is that it's not so far from what I've seen, in my opinion, right? From what I've seen, this negativity where it's like everything is negative. And I think that this has to do with the fact that they're trying to build something. They're trying to get people's attention, and I get that. But here's the thing. I've got, you know how many friends that I have who just do not like The Last Jedi at all. They hate The Last Jedi. I got a friend, Dwayne, that, man, every time we get together, we talk about this, that he hates The Last Jedi. And I respect him, and we have a conversation. We have conversations about this. But we still respect each other. But here's the thing. Man, Dwayne goes down to Galaxy's Edge and loves it. Had a great time. I know 5 different people who don't like The Last Jedi, who are not a part necessarily where Star Wars is gone, yet they find the positive. And they still like things like Galaxy's Edge. They went down, they've had a good time with their family, they've had a good time. But see, when I turn on when I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm seeing people literally go to Galaxy's Edge and like they spend an hour in a video because they act like they can't find one positive thing, that's overkill. That's way overkill. That's way overkill on this thing. And we're trying to just push a narrative now, instead of actually just having a conversation about what we don't like and making that known, which is fine. You can make known what I'm not saying just accept it. I'm not saying just accept what you don't like. But I'm talking about the way in which we fight the things that we don't like. And so that's what we're talking about today. Because today, I want to tell you something. I'm not arguing with George Lucas. George Lucas has said the exact same thing. You see, here's the thing, guys. Mark Hamill, first of all, is the biggest troll. He trolls fans so hard, and they don't even see it, and that's the point. Mark Hamill has messed with fans for the last 2-3 years about this stuff. And it's so obvious what he's doing. And George Lucas comes right out and says, hey, yeah, the white slavers thing. Yes, so you know what? You want to let's talk about that. So the white slavers comment. So yeah, George Lucas was ticked off because they didn't use his stuff, that they didn't use his drafts and setups for 7, 8, and 9. And yeah, he didn't like at first what they were doing. But these are comments that are literally like 7 years ago. And he has come out many times since and talked about how now, you know, he sees what they're doing. He's come in, he's been consulted now. They brought him in. He was frustrated because he just sold it, and he was dealing with the fact that when you sell something, you don't have control over it. So it was a very unfortunate comment. But then George Lucas also says things like Star Wars is for children, and I don't see the fandom menace accepting that. They don't accept that. George Lucas flat out comes out and says that the fandom is toxic. And the reason why he sold Star Wars to begin with was toxic fans who just absolutely hated him, hated everything that he did. And he said, it's these fans, he says, who don't accept the fact that Star Wars is for children. Yet everybody blew up 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when Freddie Prinze Jr. said Star Wars is for children. Excuse me. Yeah, George Lucas felt that way when it first happened. You're talking about a story. See, we're just reading about a story that happened literally years ago. You know, things have changed, but the thing is people don't, people pick and choose the narrative. They pick and choose the pieces that they want, and they've run with it. And that's what's been the problem with this, because it's pitted fans against each other. It's pitted people against each other, and we shouldn't be against each other. See, we should not be against each other when it comes to that. Thank you, Caleb. Mark Hamill has rolled back his comments about this stuff. People have changed what they've said because it's been unfortunate that what they've said has been taken out of context. It's been used to push a narrative. And I'm ready to move on. I'm ready for us to move on, and I hope you are too. And I think that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he's not the devil, okay? I've been very, very frustrated with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers because of the way that he has approached this. Not because of his opinions, but because of how he has approached this and how he's gone about dealing with it. But yesterday, I watched a video of Jeremy's where he did an interview with Robert Meyer Burnett. Now, if you don't know who Robert Meyer Burnett is, he's a regular on the John Campea show. He's a pretty good guy. Right, Big Tasty? If we were all gonna leave, we should have left at the holiday special for sure, because that's the worst thing that has ever come out with Star Wars. But here's the thing. So Robert Meyer Burnett, he's on the John Campea show. He's on stuff, and I saw something yesterday in that interview that gave me hope. And that is Jeremy interviewed him, and man, Jeremy did a great job. Jeremy did, I gotta give kudos where kudos is due. All right? Jeremy did a great job. It was one of the first times that I'd ever seen Jeremy do a video where there was positive response, where it was a positive video. He was like he was reaching across the aisle, as it were, to Robert Meyer Burnett, because he knew that Robert had a different point of view than him. He wasn't like he is in some of these videos, in his car videos and all those things where he's just sarcastic and he's doing his thing, because that's what turns me off of that. But no, he was being positive, he was being nice, right? He was being respectful. He was making his point known, which is great. And he was listening to Robert Meyer Burnett and respecting Robert's opinion about stuff. And they had a wonderful conversation, and it blossomed not just from Star Wars, but it went from Star Wars, and then Jeremy starts talking about things that he loves, and they start talking about video games and toys and stuff. And man, let me tell you something. That was so great to see. I was so happy with that whole thing. It put a smile on my face, because come to find out, Jeremy and I, as the sun shines in on our little thing here, Jeremy and I, the sun shines in, man. It just illuminates everything, because Jeremy and I have so much in common. Jeremy talks about his love for Star Wars growing up, and then his love for G.I. Joe, which I love G.I. Joe, man. And he starts talking about how he had the USS Flag growing up. Now, I didn't have it growing up, but I had a ton of G.I. Joe stuff. And I've got a USS Flag now. And then he started talking about how when he was growing up, the one toy that he wanted was the Cobra Terradrome. And I got a Cobra Terradrome. And he's talking about these G.I. Joes and he's naming them off. And I'm just like, man, that's me right there. And he's talking about video games and video game systems, how he loves his old school Nintendo. Like that's what got him into gaming, and that's what got him into things. And he still plays that to this day. And that's me. That's me. I finally saw myself. I connected with Jerry on something in a positive way. And I was able to listen to his concerns and his issues with Star Wars, because it wasn't all this facade thing where it's like it's just got to be negative. And I appreciated that so much. And he kept repeating over and over again, we've got to have these kind of conversations. We've got to have these positive There it is. We're fighting each other, folks. It's been such a negative thing. We got to stop. We got to stop with this negativity. We have to come together as fans about the things that we love. And try to see but I say that because here's the thing. I would love to have a conversation with Jeremy about this. Not a debate, not trying to change his mind about this, but to talk about what we love. You know, to talk about what we love in general. Star Wars, things like G.I. Joe, stuff from our childhood. Connect on those kind of levels and hear each other. You know, and like I said, this whole frustration that I have had with everything is not to say that everybody's got to agree with me about Star Wars, and that somehow like people have kind of misunderstood that. I'm not telling you how to feel about Star Wars, because we're all going to feel the way we're going to feel, right? And like I mentioned yesterday, like I stopped watching Supergirl because of the identity politics and the SJW stuff that's in that show that I feel just goes over the top. And now, when I start preach that, then point. I just feel like there's not enough voice on our side. Guy who junk would like, because Jerry, like, well, that so I would love to have that. I don't know the station, but man, I would love to have that conversation with Jeremy. And here's my challenge. I'd even say if Jeremy could convince me that I'm wrong, just in a regular conversation, I'd give him my Terradrome. I would give him my Cobra Terradrome. He said that he wanted a Cobra Terradrome. I would love to have a conversation. If he can convince me that I'm wrong about Star Wars in a conversation, not just throw stuff out, not just clap his hands, not just do those kind of things, but actually have a conversation like I saw him have with Robert Meyer Burnett, a respectful conversation in which two people sit and discuss something, because that's what we need more of, folks. That's what we need more of. We need more of those types of videos. We need more of those types of discussions where the fandom comes around. And like I said, Star Wars is one of those things. It's like Michigan weather. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. Something will come along that you will like. There's gonna be something Star Wars that everybody who's hating on it right now, you're gonna find something. I mean, I think it's gonna be The Mandalorian, really, to be quite honest with you. because everybody seems to be really geeked for the Mandalorian. And so I think that we're going to see that, where people are just they're going to come back to Star Wars in a major way. And look, I've even said, I did a video just a couple days ago that I said, I said that Kathleen Kennedy needs to step down, and that somebody else needs to lead this, because of everything that's happened, of all of the fact that there's that goodwill has been lost. We need somebody else who can come in, and that's not because Kathleen Kennedy sucks at her job or anything. She's got a great track record as far as box office. She's been a phenomenal producer in Hollywood. You know, she's responsible for a lot of our childhoods, folks. And people may not want to admit that, but she is. And she is not responsible for every little decision, and she doesn't write the movies. She doesn't write the things. And you know what? But she's made some major mistakes when it comes to hiring directors and people to run the show, because they keep getting rid of people. They just got rid of Benioff and Weiss, and that came out. But even part of Benioff and Weiss leaving has now come out, that part of it has to do with toxic fandom. And so we got to stop making all these demands, I think, of things that we love, and stop acting like, well, if it doesn't do exactly what we want it to do, that it sucks, or it's horrible, and it needs to be taken down. And we need to find the commonality, the common ground, because we're Star Wars fans. You don't have to agree with me, but you know what? We say we're Star Wars fans, so let's act like it. Let's act like fans of the same thing. Let's talk about the things that we love. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is about. Talking about the things that we love, be it TV shows, movies, games, whatever. So I just want to encourage you today to keep loving Star Wars. Use the hashtag I love Star Wars everywhere. Put it on your posts. Put it on things. Let's show the world that we love Star Wars, and that we'll always love Star Wars. So that's my challenge to Jeremy. Jeremy's not a bad guy. I saw a side of Jeremy in that video that showed me that Jeremy is a good guy at heart, and he's not the devil. He's not this horrible person. We just have differing opinions, and that's okay. It's okay to have differing opinions. And I hope that one day, you know, like I said, Jeremy doesn't know me. Jeremy doesn't need to know me. There's nothing about me that would get Jeremy's attention. There's nothing about this channel, you know, that would get Jeremy's attention. But you know what? I would love to have a conversation with Jeremy and represent people like me who just love Star Wars, who are just done with the negativity and just want to move on to something positive. What do you guys think? I would love to hear what you guys think. I don't know who's still on and where we're going. See, I don't know if Ham Sandwich is still on here, but so that's what I'm saying. Like all sayings and stuff, and negative sayings that we're, you know, people are talking about, you know, calling it the rise of Soy Walker. All these things, guys. All that does is just build animosity. You know, it just frustrates people who love this stuff and who enjoy it. And I for one am looking forward very much to the rise of Skywalker. And I hope that it nails it. I don't understand why people would hope that it fails. Why would you, if you say that you're a Star Wars fan and that you love Star Wars, why would you want it to fail? I don't understand that. I don't understand why you'd want something that you claim to love to crash and burn. That just two things that happen, and you didn't like where the characters went. I understand that frustration, folks. I fully understand that frustration. But it didn't make me want to call for it to all crash and burn. It made me want to call for it to get better, you know, and to handle that in a positive way. So anyways, that's my rant. That's my video for today. Keep Star Wars positive. Keep proclaiming your love for Star Wars. And let's keep having fun. Right? Let's keep having fun all the way up until the time of Rise of Skywalker. Of course, Mandalorian comes out next week, and we'll be talking about that. All right? So we'll be talking about Rise of Skywalker. We'll be covering Rise of Skywalker, and we'll be covering the Mandalorian. And hey, I love Star Wars. Hashtag I love Star Wars. Use it everywhere you go. All right, guys. Until later, love you. Peace out. Stay nerdy. Bye-bye.